Hey everybody, I'm telling you, I need a professional camera team. I'm just so bad at this. Anyway, I covered the board meeting of Tri-County Community Action because I'm going to try, there's so many boards in this county that handle all your business. I'm going to try to hit on one of them at least once during the year. I have not been to the school board. There's one for social services. There's just boards everywhere. And some are streaming online, like the Board of Supervisors and the IDA, the Industrial Development Board. So you can see them. Quite frankly, the Board of Supervisors, though, I can't see or hear it very well, so I prefer to film that one myself. But I keep trying this two-camera thing, and it's just not working. At this particular board meeting I went to, they held it at Four Oaks in South Boston, and they have dinner kind of toward the beginning of it, so we had to break and everybody eat and then come back. And I'm trying to do two cameras, and suddenly I noticed my filter's off because it got darker and it's very subtle lighting in there, and I don't have a professional lighting set up, so I just threw something together. But what I want you to get out of this, if you watch it all the way through, and I know some of it's difficult to hear because of background noise, is Tri-County. It's their executive director. Her name is Patrina Carter, and she does such a good job with this organization. And there's so many things that they offer this county that people don't know about. They talked about those at this board meeting. It didn't strike me as much of a working board meeting so much as let's all stay in communication. And there was people from the community there. Some you'll recognize, some people I've never met before. And then the beginning of it, the first 10, 15 minutes was going over their budget and the fiscal stuff. And it's hard for me to maintain attention to that. But the guy that presented it really sounded professional, and it sounds like they're in good shape. But she did mention something later about, because we don't know what's going on in the world of politics and federal funding for things, everything could change on a dime. But what I hope, if you watch all of this, that you'll get out of it are some of the things that they were talking about that they do for the community up and coming. One really good thing was tax season. If you make, I think it was $60,000 or $65,000 a year, if you make less than that, they'll do your taxes for free. And I was like, dang, I need to check up on that, because I'll be honest with you, I didn't even file last year. I was so aggravated. So I got to file 2 years and pay penalties, I'm sure. But the year before that, I went to Liberty, and they made a mistake, and it cost me money. So I was just like, whatever. Before that, I used to do it with the free thing online, but I don't think that's even available anymore. So anyway, bottom line is that Tri-County Community Action here in town, their main office is located at that crossroad where Sheetz is, like you're going toward Heiko on the right. But it's like behind Sheetz, basically, or behind whatever that equipment rental place is. I can't remember his name offhand. And they'll do your taxes for free. So that's really cool. And it's only an income-based thing, not age or whatever. It's not like just for old people like me. So that was a good thing they were talking about. They were talking about the mentorship program. They were talking about a backpack thing they did where they gave out so many backpacks. And of course, Ryland was there. And Hitachi had contributed to some of that. There was a lady there who was recognized for multiple years of service. They gave her an award. I don't know what happened to my second camera that was filming her face on, but it just wasn't there. It's probably because I was trying to get these stupid filters set right, because you'll see parts of the video that go dark and turn like a sepia color or whatever it's called, like monochrome. That's where I was trying to get the filters to set straight, but I never could. Everything's fine now. Like, I'm going out filming tonight, and they should look fine, but we'll see. What else did they talk about that they did? Head Start, they were talking about that program. So point being, it's a really good organization that does a lot of things. They do, homelessness, domestic violence. They were talking about cold weather. We don't have warming shelters here in Halifax County. And it's something the Board of Supervisors had brought up at one time that we should look into trying to do that, because I noticed Danville has about 6 or 7, and it's their local fire departments are all warming centers for people who can't keep their house warm. And believe me, I get it. When you have a house like mine, my power bill is going to be $1,000 this month. And if I could just go stay in a warming center for a night instead of never getting my house for whatever. Anyway. I digress. So this is the Tri-County Board meeting. It meets every month. There's, I want to say, 14 people on the board. There was a lot more people there, though, because they were honoring people and making announcements, and they had that budget guy at the beginning there. So learn how your local governments and boards work, because Tri-County is funded, I believe, state and federal, local, state, and federally. They're a nonprofit, so it's not like they take in a lot of money for things. You know, they're dependent on contributions and charitable organizations. So supporting them, and more importantly, utilizing their services, for God's sake. That's why they're there, you know. So anyway, enjoy it, and I'll be covering some other things. I got some more interviews coming up. See you guys.
Roll call, Halifax County, Laverne Taylor. Present. John Terry.
Present.
Hubert Quinnell.
Present. Present.
Sylvia Bailey. Present. Wayne Smith. Ronald Clark.
Present.
Mecklenburg. Annette Tucker. Terry Smith. Mona Rainey. Present. Janisha Stout. Claudia Lunding. Jacqueline Barnett. Present. Charlotte County, Sherry Thorpe.
I'm here to replace under newly elected supervisor.
And Nathan Parker.
Present.
Mr. President, we have 11 present and 3 absent. Yes.
Thank you so much. Can someone give us permission to vision statement? So the mission and vision statement is on the bottom of your notes. Could someone read that for us, please?
Our mission is to eliminate the violence of poverty through advocacy, empowerment, and self-sufficiency. We envision a region without poverty and all people live and thrive in life.
All right, thank you so much for reading that. Introduction of new CPO Chandra
Yeah, we did that. I think that was good.
All right, thank you so much. All right, we have the facility bid out in front of you. Is there a motion or any changes to the consent agenda? I'm sorry.
You might have the oral presentation.
I'm sorry. All right, let me have the order presentation.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Or good evening, sorry. Before we get started, I want to take this opportunity to thank you for allowing me to perform the audit of your agency this year. And I also wanted to say that this is one of the earliest audits that we've completed in many years. We've struggled to try to pull this audit together for some time now, but over the last probably 3 or 4 years, it's gotten better to the point where right now the books are in excellent shape, and everybody in the accounting department and really the organization is to be commended from where you were probably 5 or 6 years ago to where you are now. It's just it takes work to do that, and you're to be commended for that. Let's start with page 1. I'm going to go through this and try to explain exactly what's going on with it, and you can feel free to stop me if you want. I'm going to try to, I'm not going to hold you too long. Starting with page 1, the independent auditor's report. Years ago, this report was just a bunch of words. It wasn't really organized at all, and it's gone through a lot of transformation. The biggest change is putting the opinion at the beginning, because we found that folk were going back to the end of the report real quick and just to find out what was going on, didn't want to hear anything else because they want to see if you got an unmodified opinion. So the opinion now is at the beginning, and everything is bullet pointed. So it's got the opinion there, and it's, your opinion is fairly stated in accordance with generally accepted accounting principles, the best opinion that you can have. The second bullet point talks about the basis of opinion. We go through government auditing standards, and I'll explain a little bit of that as we go along. And then it talks about the responsibilities, it talks about management's responsibilities. In other words, these financial statements aren't mine. I didn't bring a bunch of numbers in here and throw them into the report. They're your numbers, we just audit them. And so they make you explain that and break it out. The auditor's responsibilities, it bullet points everything that we're responsible for. Bullet 2 is the one that I like to highlight, and that is that not only do we audit, but we audit to make sure that, not make sure, but we audit fraud now, where years ago we didn't. Now we have to come in here and prepare our audits to address fraud. Then we've got the supplementary, that's page 2, the supplementary information. There's going to be 2 other letters in this audit, and those belong to me. This letter belongs to me, nothing else belongs to me. Those 2 letters I'll explain when we get back there. And then there's a report that's back there that for the federal awards, and that's what the other reporting is on government auditing, the last bullet point there. So it's a lot of stuff going in here. A lot of people don't do these audits because there's so many letters and so many things that go along with it. And so page 3 is the statement of financial position, or really the balance sheet. It shows the consolidated organization's assets, liabilities, and net assets. Page 4 is the consolidated statement of activities, or for-profit focused income statement. Shows all the grants, revenue, and all the revenue that was received, and all the expenses that are related to that. Page 5 is the statement of cash flows. Shows what the net income was. Basically, it's a reconciliation of the net income to cash, and that goes from page 5 and 6. Page 7 is the statement of functional expenses. It shows all the grants that we have here, and it also shows a breakout of the management in general. And I know that looks kind of innocent, but there's a lot of funders out here that look at that, and they want to see too much management in general over top of all the expenses. Right now, you're at about 8% of management in general to all the expenses. That's good. That's real good. I mean, you've got some folks that are if you get above 20, 25%, people start to frown at that, because when they want to get to nonprofits, they don't want to see it going to management in general. They want to see it going to programs. That's why a lot of people advertise now that they don't send anything to management in general. All your money is going directly to programs, and that keeps people giving money. They don't want to see you giving it to the management in general and doing other stuff with it. The footnotes start at page 9 through 13, and basically standard footnotes, and you have to explain certain things in here. We talk about at the beginning what the organization is about. We have breakouts of the notes payable that you have on the building. It's funny that I remember when that building was bought, and so where you're at right now, this thing's getting ready to be paid off in the next few years. As you can see on page 11, it tells you what you have left to pay. You only got to 2029, it looks like, and this thing's gonna be paid off. Page 11 also talks about the grants receivable that we have, breaks out all the grants that you're due money from. Page 12 discusses the liquidity of the organization, and you're in great shape. You've got great net assets. I know the state really looks at that, and they're really pleased with that number. They don't want to see agencies that are really struggling cash flow wise, because they really kind of frown on that. This page 14, schedule of federal awards. That's one of the things that we bullet pointed up there in the letter at the beginning. And basically, it looks like an innocent report, but really this is all the federal programs that were audited. And it's our responsibility that we must do not only the numbers, but we also must do compliance test work as well. And at least 40% of the federal programs must be compliance audited. So if we take that $3 million down to about $3,659,000 and multiply it by 40%, that means about $1.5 million has to be compliance audited. so when we say major programs, that major program has to be compliance audited. It must be at least 1.5 million tests audited of the federal program. Right now, we're at $2 million that we audited, so we're well above that, so we're fine. But if we weren't, this report goes out to Kansas City. They'll call Katrina up and they'll tell her, hey, look, you're below the number, get the auditor back out here, pull some other federal programs in here, do compliance tests. Where if we refuse to do that, then they'll reject the audit and the audit has to be done again. Of course, we can come back out and do it, but that's how this thing kind of works. If you're a low risk auditee, meaning that you don't have any management letter comments or findings over the last 2 years, they'll treat you as low risk. That means that you can lower that number from 40% to 20%. So $700,000 only has to be tested for, compliance tests. We're at $2 million, so we're well above that number. So we met that threshold. Going to page 16. That is the first letter. It's the letters on internal control related to government auditing standards. It's called a gas letter. And basically what it is overall for all the federal programs, regardless if you're compliance tested or not, there's certain things you can and can't do in federal programs. For example, you can't charge interest to federal programs. If you do, that's an automatic write-up. You got to kick it out. You can't charge alcohol to federal programs. We laugh, but you'll be surprised. But anyway, so if anything like that happened in here, we'd go ahead and put in our letter that, hey, look, these certain things have happened. Go back to the back of the report, see exactly what it is, and it'll detail exactly what's going on here. Didn't have any of those issues here, so we won't have that. You've got a clean opinion as far as the gas report is concerned. Going back to page 18, this goes directly to the compliance test work, the $2 million that we were talking about before. This letter directly there. If we go and do compliance test work on a federal program and we find findings there, and this letter will modify it and say, hey, we've got an issue and finding XZZ is back there in the back. Go back and look at it and tell you detail exactly the issue. Don't have a problem here. It's a clean opinion, so you don't have that issue. Page 20. Sorry, I'm blind. 20 is our schedule of findings, and it basically just summarizes everything about this audit report. You've had an unmodified opinion as far as the audit report is concerned. We have no findings as far as material weakness or findings in any of the issues with the audit report. It tells you what the program is. Again, this goes out to Kansas City again, and they're looking at this too. So in other words, when I said 40% up there, but I said you're 20% low risk auditee, they're going to come back here and they're going to do 40%. And if I didn't meet that threshold, the next thing they're going to do is come back to this letter. And if you go down there, right there at the end, it says audit qualified as low risk auditee. And it says yes. So they said, oh, so that means you get 20%. That's how that number comes in. So this all ties back. Now, if you go to page 21, this got the section 2 up at the top. That's the gas, where you would put comments about the gas letter. If you charge interest or if you charge alcohol, we write it up here and you see the write up here. We modify the opinion on the letter, come back here and tell you exactly what went on. You don't have a problem, as I said, so there's no write up here. Major program findings, same thing up there with the major programs. If you found the issue with the Head Start program, something went wrong in there, we go ahead and detail it here, and that's where you see it. And that's how Kansas City ties all this stuff in. Prior year follow-up on page 22. If there was any write-ups in the previous year, we would go ahead and see if you cleared those findings. If you didn't, then we go ahead and write again and say you didn't clear or whatever. You didn't have any write-ups in the last 2 years. Obviously you didn't, because you wouldn't be a low-risk auditee, because you can't have anything here and be a low-risk auditee. So you're fine. And then at the end, this letter right here is 23 and 24 is the governance letter. It's really a letter that goes to the board that we just directly talk to you about certain things that go on with the audit. One of the biggest things I like about it is if we had any difficulties in performing this audit, did we get everything on a timely basis? Didn't have a problem here, but I've used this quite a bit where folk are holding back, and you have to, so we come here and let you know that, hey, you gotta get that straight. And it's got a bunch of other stuff in here that's related to the board and goes directly to y'all. I put it in here, and a lot of auditors put it in here because sometimes we forget, and then when they come out and do the peer review, they ask, hey, where's the letter at? And then you kind of say, oh, I forgot that, and then you get written that for it. So I just go ahead and attach it to the audit to make sure that everybody knows that it's there. And that's pretty much is the entire audit. Does anybody have any questions, concerns?
Thank you so much, sir. Is there any questions to the audit? Is there, go right ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. One last thing.
Go right
The 990 has been sent.
Okay,
That goes to the IRS. They keep that on file. Be sure that you, as a board, look at that and prove it, okay? Because they want, I put in there that you will, okay? So just do that.
okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, is there a motion to approve the audit? Is there a second?
I second.
It's been a proper motion and second. Is there further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Order is approved.
Thank you.
All right, at this time, looking at our agenda and the recognition and service, we want to recognize Ms. Yvonne Akron. I think Ms. Collins is going to preside.
I'm going to allow her supervisor and director to come forward at this time. And Ms. Avery, I guess, come. Ms.
Bring your tissue, bring your tissue.
Oh, no, no tissue.
And put you right in the middle of us. So Ms. Yvonne is one of those rare exceptions that you come across in life. You will meet many people on your journey, and then there's always one that kind of stands out and makes sure that you're aware that she's on your journey, and that is Ms. Yvonne Avery. We've only known Ms. Avery since June 3rd, 2024, when you approved me to be in the state. But since then, she has made a lasting impact on my life. And so when she announced her retirement, it was one of those, are you sure? What can we do? Can we get you a vacation home, right? You want to take a trip, to the space or whatever. And none of that worked because Miss Yvonne recognized the importance of family and faith. And so her family is important to her right now. So regardless of what we try to offer her, she held tight. She went out with a boom. So on tonight, Miss Yvonne, we would like to present this to you as a recognition of the outstanding services that you provided to Tri-County Community Action Agency, specifically that of Head Start. And it reads as such. In recognition of outstanding service, Yvonne Avery, with sincere appreciation and gratitude for 17 years and 4 months of faithful and dedicated service. Your commitment, professionalism, and lasting contributions have made a meaningful impact on our agency and the communities we serve. January 8, 2026 was the last day that she walked in as an employee of Tri-County. So we say thank you for your years of excellence and dedication.
Thanks. Oh, wow, nice. Again, Tri-County, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Family.
We love you, Ms. Avery.
We love you too. She wants to get in closer. Right. Thank you. Enjoy being a Tri-County employee. come visit us now.
I always say from steel toe to heels. Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much. Aboard to us tonight, and so we so much appreciate you being here. All right, so at this time, we're going to ask Ms. Carter to give us the president's report.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Continue to enjoy your food. I think it's more right. But I wanted to talk about our Facebook page. If you have not liked our page, we need you to like it, share it. Our presence has really increased in 2025, so much so that Facebook has asked to monetize our page. Yeah, so we'll be engaging with them on how they monetize. My daughter who works there said, "Oh, you got a few more thousand to go," but okay, so we'll work towards it, but we'll see. But that's good stuff because we want people to be aware of what we're doing. And I remember years ago they would say that Tri-County was the best kept secret, but that's not good. We don't want to be a secret because we need people to know what we do so that they can get the services. January is National Mentoring Month. And so this month we have hosts. Alicia, are they presenting today on mentor role model?
No.
Okay. Oh, we're doing VITA. That's important too. But I think Khadijah did do a presentation to the board already on what she's doing with mentoring, the Mentor Role Model Program. Right now, she has a logo contest for children age 18 and under, and that's running from January 12th through January 30th. And the winner for the logo will get a $100 gift card, and that's going to be announced on February 9th. So she's working with some of the schools and has the children, she's giving them what Mentor Role Model is, and so they're going to come up with some different designs. So that's exciting. We're excited to see what they come up with. The VITA program, she's going to do a short presentation in a little bit on that, but we do free tax preparation for individuals whose income is $67,000 or less, beginning on February 6th. And Ms. Diane will tell you more about that, but we will be doing taxes in Halifax, Mecklenburg, and Charlotte counties. And for families earning $67,000 or less, they can get their taxes done for free. That tax burden taken off of people is great. Some people are paying $200, $300, $400 to get their taxes done. And so we want to make sure that they are aware of the service that they can get their taxes done for free at Tri-County. Mahalia's Place, Scotty Felton, a local realtor, has done a pledge for $2,500 for bathroom renovations at Mahalia's Place. Our board member, Robin Clark, had started that ball kind of talking about Mahalia's Place needing some renovations for the bathroom. One thing about Mahalia's Place, we want that to be a safe haven, but we want it to feel like home. And when people leave and come to the shelter, they're running for their life. But after a few days, if they're not comfortable, suddenly it wasn't so bad at home. So we want to make sure that they feel like when they go in that bathroom, they can have a spa day almost. And so we're looking forward to the community coming together, and we're starting to see donations coming in. And Scotty has said that she would match up to $2,500 whatever we get. So that's exciting as well.
So Natasha's also we're going to do a masquerade ball. We're planning that. All the proceeds are going to go towards this project also. So,
So y'all start getting your masks together. That's fantastic.
We also received an email today that we're going to get $2,500 from another entity in Southfield.
Looks like Mahelia's place will have bathrooms by spring. Not that they don't have bathrooms, this is just upgrades. They have bathrooms at the shelter. Point in time count, and I'm gonna let Ms. Kim talk about the point in time count, because this is so important. And why is it important? It's the time when we are counting the homeless in the community. And one thing we know that we continue to try to get the message out, that homelessness in rural Virginia looks totally different than in the cities, in urban areas. And so, Kim, we want to talk a little about point in time.
So she just gave you all the information. But basically, the point in time count is Wednesday, January the 28th from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. And so that's the time when we go out in the community in groups in Mecklenburg, Halifax, Charlotte, and Brunswick counties, just to see if we can locate anyone who is homeless. We put the word out to everybody that we can think of, anybody that comes in contact with those individuals who are homeless. Just put the word out to everybody that we can think of, hoping that people will give us a call when they encounter someone who is homeless. So if you encounter someone on the day of the 27th, and they're going to be homeless on the night of the 28th, or if you encounter someone on the 29th who said they were homeless on the night of the 28th, all of that counts. So if you encounter anyone that's homeless between the 27th and the 29th, homeless is they have nowhere to sleep. They have to be sleeping in a place not meant for human habitation. So if they're going from house to house and couch to couch, they don't consider that. But you can still report that if you like. But we're looking for people who are unsheltered. So if you encounter anyone, if you know other people that work with that population, let them know about the count. But don't hesitate to give me a call, and I can do the form, or I can give you the form to fill out. But just keep that in mind. January the 28th, anyone who is homeless, please let us know.
Thank you, Ms. Karen. Community engagement, we're really this year really trying to be strategic in targeting our engagement in the community. We really want to try to get to all of the county board of supervisors meetings, and so I have told our leadership we're going to enlist them to show up to speak on behalf, because I can't do it all. And so we will be targeting, making sure that we get to all of the different meetings, because we're in 3.5 counties, Brunswick and Lunenburg, that domestic violence does. So you'll just see us there. CSBG monitoring. CSBG is the grant that's basically the skeleton of the agency. It does the capacity for the agency. They will be doing a monitoring on April the 8th. If you all remember as a board, when they do the monitoring, they also will, as part of that monitoring, they will contact board members. They want to speak to you. They do come to a board meeting. They want to see how our board operates. And as I say with any monitoring, we are going to be 100% transparent in everything that we provide, because if we're not doing something that we should be doing, then we want to know about it so that we can start doing it. And so we welcome the monitoring. It only strengthens us as an agency and as an organization. But April the 8th, and as soon as they give us more information, I will let you all know. We do have some employment opportunities, teacher, assistant teacher, substitute teacher. We're also hiring for a housing case manager, a weatherization tech, and a home maintenance tech. And so those positions are available. Anyone can apply for those positions online on our website, tricountyva.org. They can go there to apply for any positions that we have available. On, what's that, Friday? Friday. Yes, we were awarded,
Thursday.
oh, it was Thursday.
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry.
January 15th.
I wonder how she remembers.
Well, since you asked, it was my birthday.
It was Thursday, January 15th. The Dam River region, the Community Foundation of the Dam River region, is now expanding their focus to Halifax County, and we were one of 6 organizations to be awarded funding. We received $18,000 to support our infant and maternal health program, and we are excited and delighted that we are going to be able to help moms in the community to get some of the supplies and resources that they need. So, hats off to the foundation. The monthly newsletter, I know that some of you are not able to open it outside of the agency, and so Alicia has been working with IT. Did you want to say anything on that, Alicia?
Hope that we get it resolved because it all of my hair is turned.
No, but it is a wonderful newsletter, and I guess if we don't have it resolved by the next board meeting, I'll make sure to bring you paper copies of it.
How many people are not able to read the newsletter? Okay.
I wonder if it's, well, you probably are not looking through another agency. I was wondering if another agency, if it was maybe, oh, you can see it. Oh,
So
okay.
part of the issue is that the newsletters have grown in size, and so the PDFs are too large to try and send as an attachment as they have been sent. So they can no longer be sent as just a PDF. So we're working for those external users, everybody on the network, which employees should be able to access it. But board members, we're having some difficulties with setting up user groups on the back end so that you guys can access it. And then there's different tricks that we have to do when we send the link out for who can view and different things like that. So we're working to get it resolved.
That's the president's report.
Okay, all right, that's our president report. Any questions to Mrs. Carter? Any comments? All right, moving on. All right, let's go to our old business. Let's talk about board vacancies, Mecklenburg County elected officials, Charlotte County low income sector, Halifax County private sector, Halifax County elected official. So we're gonna let Mrs. Carter take.
So I believe Mecklenburg is working to fill their position. Alicia, did you want to speak on Charlotte County?
In regards to, sorry.
Charlotte County board vacancy.
So we do have one person of interest for that, but you would have to get them to submit information for the low income to rejoin, and then I think we'll be working with Charlotte County DSS director to see if we can get her to join as well. So we do have those. You're hoping that those two will close by the next board meeting.
And we know that Halifax County will be appointing someone soon. And Charlotte County, on their elected official, they changed over and they have appointed a new person for Charlotte County, and it's, I am sorry. Please introduce yourself and say your name so everyone will know.
Okay, I'm Miller Adams. I was newly elected to represent the Red Oak, Wildsburg area. It's in the southern end of Charlotte County, so I actually live in Red Oak.
Milk, I am so sorry. As I'm reading, I'm like, I got an email for that. So, you know, in good old Tri-County fashion, since we have a new person, we have to go all the way around the table to know everybody that's here. So, you want to start?
Sure. So, I'm here to kind of serve as the chair and I serve as the elected official for White Man from Halifax County.
Laverne Taylor, and I'm from Halifax County.
Mona Rainey, Metro North.
Sean Clark, Halifax County. John Terry, Halifax County.
Yvonne Acree, retired.
Elizabeth Bordelon, AGT and State Specialist.
Danielle Lucas, planner, Head Start compliance, and infant maternal health.
Denise Smith, trauma informed care specialist, Head Start.
Linda Pereira, Head Start Education Manager.
Carmina Richardson Ader, Impact Director for Youth and Family Services.
Diane Barton, Finance Officer.
I'm Kim Carson, the Director of Emergency Services.
Penny Jackson, Director of Human Resources.
Shirley Joyce, Director of Operations.
Jacqueline Barnett, Mecklenburg County.
Trakeisha South, Mecklenburg County.
Larry Smith, Mecklenburg County, and also board secretary.
Sylvia Bailey, I'm from Halifax County, and I'm the Vice Chair.
And I'm Katrina Clark.
All right, very good. Thank you so much and welcome aboard, sir. All right, let's go on to our new business. Board committee reports. Mrs. Carter, you want to take that? Take that board committee report.
You have in your packet all, no. I'm thinking, you did that in the consent agenda. The board committees did not meet in December. We will be looking for the board committees to meet in February. Board committees meet in the off month of our full board meeting. So we meet January, we won't meet as a full board in February, so then you know it's going to be a committee meeting. This is the question that Alicia has. Is it better for her to just set standard dates, like the second Tuesday at noon for finance and programs, just so that you have those dates, or do you want to, as a committee, decide what works best? So what's the best?
How long do committee meetings usually last?
1 hour.
Maybe send out a doodle poll.
Okay.
She.
Okay. Yeah. Mhm. Okay. And I'm wondering, Alicia, if it would be good if the doodle poll said for the months of February, April, would the second, giving them so that they could basically block that time off for the year, so that our committees meet continuously and it's not, because there's a lot of work to be done, and it's usually done in committee. Okay. All right. Thank you all. Financial report. Our brand new CFO is turned 50, and she had a vacation already planned when she joined us, so she's, I guess, on her way back from Cancun.
She didn't cancel it?
I mean, don't you want to be here? I know this is hard. So, I will attempt to do this, but I have to put on some light because these aren't my real glasses. I got real glasses now, but I left them home, so I was trying to tell her I didn't need them, but she said, okay. So, as you heard from our auditor, we are financially solvent. We are in a good space. We are in a better space than we've been. But that does not mean that we do not, that just means that we right now have enough to cover everything that we're doing. But as you know, we have big projects coming down the pipe. And we are seeking, we need more funding for those projects. So right now we are solvent as the books were told to you. CSBG and TANF, we received approximately $485,000. We are spending down quite nicely. We're at 48%. And 47%, and so that is almost half, and this is almost half of the year. So everything is basically in line. Head Start, you can see that one. Head Start is not on our fiscal year. Head Start is a January to December grant, and so they went over a little bit by about 2% of their budget, but considering all of the different things that happened in Head Start, that was pretty good. And so it was a little nerve-wracking during the shutdown on whether or not our grant, which would start back in January, would get approved. And I think we were right under the wire like a week before the end of the year. We got the approval for the grant. So our new grant started January 1, and we are able to pull down funding. So to stay sane, I just don't watch the news because when you hear anything happening with federal, you up and down all around. You just don't watch. We have lobbyists, we have state associations that let us know when the impact is real. And then you'll hear me on the phone. So we have the USDA food nutrition that helps to feed our Head Start children. We also have the child care wraparound, and what that is, we are working with the Department of Social Services, and so that children who need care before our Head Start hours and after our Head Start hours can get care if their parents have been approved through DSS. And so we are an approved wraparound child care center. I'll talk more about that later. We also have the Centra Infant and Maternal Health Summit. We still have some funding coming in for that. That is a small grant that we received from Centra. We basically completed that grant. Virginia Housing Infant and Maternal Health Program, they completed that grant. We also received funding from Virginia Housing for the Infant and Maternal Health Program. We will not pull that down until April. Is your program?
Yes.
Okay. We were awarded $2,500 for last year for the comedy show. They sponsored that, and $2,500 will go for the Infant and Maternal Health Summit in April. LIHEAP, our weatherization program. Right now, we do have a little hold up with some funding that's coming down. They are keeping us informed. They said that this is under DOE, Department of Energy. The federal money has not come to the state as of yet. We are hoping that it will come any day now, but it's across the nation. But our Virginia representative has been very communicative in letting us know that they have been in touch with the federal worker and they are trying to push Virginia's funding out. But I believe that another month or so, we'll probably see that funding starting to flow. Some things will happen. If you know, with the new governor taking office, one of the things that she did was under the RGGI, which is the greenhouse gas. A lot of people don't understand what that is, but one thing that comes out of that is funding to be able to support the the deferred program, where if we were to go in to weatherize someone's home and their roof is leaking, they have broken windows, we cannot weatherize a home like that. Under the RGGI funds, we can pull down funding to be able to fix the roof, fix the windows, then go in and do the weatherization of that home. So those funds really help low-income families to be able to stay in their homes. And so people don't realize that side of the RGGI funds. And so we are trying to make sure that people understand how that shows up in the community. It's not just greenhouse gases. When you say greenhouse gases, people are like, what in the world is that? And why would you support it? Well, that's why we support it, because we know that it actually comes into the community in the form of dollars to allow people to stay in their homes. And so with the governor signing Virginia back up for that, we will see probably an increase in those funding coming down shortly.
Is there a way you can like get it? Like, I'll be honest, that's I think I saw the same thing and I was like, and so I never knew that's even a part of it. Is there a way that maybe if there's things like that that can affect us? Because sometimes we talk to people that vote, right, or lawmakers or whatever, and I'll be honest, man, I didn't know anything about that. So I've been like, you don't really have to. But if I know that kind of stuff, it may help to, it may help us if somebody, hey, what do you guys think? Like, you think we should vote or support this or not? Yes or no? And say, well, yeah, probably. So now, if I knew that before, I didn't really, didn't know much about it. So
absolutely, and yeah.
Now we know what to support and how we can support it.
I'm going to figure out what's the best way to
maybe the newsletter that I can't get to. I'm joking. I'm thinking something like in the news, things that you might see in the news and how it might affect us as an agency. Because some things you would come across and you don't know, like, what is that? So all of our grants right now are fine. None of our grants have been stopped or reduced. So we have the LIHEAP. LIHEAP does not run on the regular fiscal year. Our agency fiscal year is July 1 to June 30th. The LIHEAP is on the federal fiscal year, which is October 1 through September 30th. And so their spend down would be a little bit different. Your weatherization, your bill are all on the agency fiscal year. EHARP, which is emergency home repair, we have just a little bit of funds that usually comes in at about $6,000 or $7,000. Usually we use that to help somebody to stay in the home. They may need a ramp or some small something, $1,000, $2,000. We try to spread it amongst as many people as we can, but that's not going to go too far. The USDA loan packaging program is actually not a grant. We get paid whenever someone closes on a loan. What we do is we help people to package that. And so we did help to package one loan we got paid for. We have about 3 others in the pipe that are coming down.
And so every time someone closes, then USDA sends us a check for $1,200 for helping them to get everything in order. If you look on your next page, you have your domestic violence program. Again, they're at about a 56% spend down. DCJS shows 33%, but we're not that concerned about that because that's a quarterly invoice. So in December, they would not have been invoiced. They're being invoiced now. So you'll see that come down in your March. Serving Hope, Centera, that of course is not on a fiscal year, but they are at a 32%. They have 32% remaining in their budget, and hopefully they'll get more funding. But they are part of Feed Halifax, which is going extremely well. And we'll let Rowland talk a little bit about Feed Halifax in a moment. The Backpack Buddies program. Kim, did you want to hit on Backpack Buddies just a tad?
So originally, we received $80,000 from Huber. Thank you very much. To start the Backpack Buddies program in Halifax County. So we targeted elementary schools. We started out with 3 schools: Cluster Springs, Sidner Jennings, and Meadville. And then Clays Mill asked to join in. And so we were able to add a 4th school. So last year we fed 200, I don't know the exact numbers, but 200 and something students we fed last year, 2025. So we actually took book bags to the schools, 2,600 or so. I had to look at Raleigh. 2,600 times we gave out book bags all together last year. And so we started up again on Friday. We have 124 students that we're targeting at the 4 schools. And so we take the book bags every Friday to the schools for the students. And then we pick them up usually on Tuesdays and fill them up again and take them back. And so that program has been an awesome program. We've been trying to pull dollars down from all different places. Because of Feed Halifax, we were able to get money from the Board of Supervisors, and we appreciate that, Reverend Pennell, for Serving Hope. And so we've been able to use some of that money to continue to do the book bags at the 4 schools in Halifax County. So that program is really working out well. There's a lot of kids that need book bags on Fridays. We're just touching the little small part of it, 124 kids, but every week one of the schools wants to know, can they add some more numbers to what they have already? So it is a worthwhile program. Is really needed. The schools really appreciate it. The parents really appreciate it. And so that is a program that we're trying to find some more funds for so that we can keep it going. We want to keep that going. It was supposed to be just a one-time thing with Huber, but once we got it going, we saw the need. It worked really well. We want to keep that program going.
Thank you for that, Pam. Just want to point out the VITA program was awarded $26,000 for this season. We've received that funding already, and we are ready to roll with our VITA program. The VITA program, of course, the first name of it is a volunteer, and so we are looking for volunteers, and I'm going to move on so Ms. Diane can tell you how much she needs you all to help. As you can see, the real CFO will be with us in March to give you the report. But does anybody have any questions on the report as written?
Any questions? Ms. Carter, if I could make a comment. Mrs. Carson, was Sinai Elementary included in that backpack program?
No, not at the beginning, because they actually had somebody that was taking book bags over there already.
Okay.
And so we tried to target the schools who didn't have anyone doing the book bags over there.
Mm-hmm.
We did try to do Scottsburg, but we didn't connect
Okay.
with the principal and stuff. But Sinai actually had, I don't know if it was the card club or someone else, but they were taking book bags over there.
Okay. All right. Good enough. All right. Is there a motion to receive the finance report?
So very much.
Is there a second? There's been a proper motion to second. Is there any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Thank you, Ms. Carter. All right, let's talk about the Head Start credit card.
So it says Head Start credit card, because Head Start requires us to make a report to the board. That's in the federal mandate. And so you have the American Express credit card for November and December. You have the Food Lion charge card for November and December, and then you have the WEX card, which is the gas, which runs our buses for November and December. And those were the purchases, basically fuel and training and consumable supplies for the Head Start program.
Question? Is there a motion to receive the Head Start credit report? Is there a second?
Second.
It's been proper motion to second. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. All right, let's move on and talk about the voluntary income tax system known as VITA. Ms. Burton, are you ready to talk to us about that?
Yes. I'm not a good public speaker, so y'all bear with me, okay? But, as Ms. Carter has stated, we do the taxes for individuals that are making $67,000 or less per year, per household. We received $26,000 from our VITA grant to help assist with these. So we hope to serve at least 475 taxpayers this year. Last year we served 466, with 447 accepted by the IRS. And to give you a picture of how much we're saving the community, the average cost of a tax return is $250 per return. So we were able to save $111,750 for the taxpayers that we serve. We will continue to serve at our South Boston location, which is at the main office, our Chase City location, as well as our Charlotte County Courthouse location. We also plan to have 4 pop-up locations this year at the Boynton Library. It's 1294 Jefferson Street. The dates are as follows: 210, 224, 310, and 324. And those are on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And we'll be serving from 9 a.m. to 3:30. All the other locations are from 9 to 3:30 on Fridays, and then the main office here in South Boston does a half a day on Saturday from 9 to 1:30. We need volunteers. We have a pretty good turnout so far this year, but we always need more. So anybody that wants to attend our training that we're having tomorrow evening from 5 to 8, we would appreciate it. It'll be in the conference room at the main office, and we'll have a little bit of food and beverages for you. And please be on the lookout for our VITA advertisements on Facebook and in the local newspapers. And that's all. Any questions?
Thank you, Mrs. Burton. Now, I want to say something here. It says $67,000 and below. Do you not know in Halifax County that I'm going to go out on a limb and say at least 85% to 90% of us who live here do not make $67,000 a year? And sadly to say this, most teachers do not make $67,000 a year. So the only reason I'm making that statement is that we need to get the word out to everybody. And I think last year we had a little flyer, and I think I put it up at the high school in the teachers' lounge to make sure that you come and get your taxes filled out. So, all right, I just want to make that statement. All right, Mrs. Carter, let's talk about culture and opportunity.
Well, on the heels of the MLK holiday, our culture and opportunity corner, I just thought a couple of quotes that Martin Luther King said, which really come to life right now. He says, our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. In the end, we will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends. There comes a time when silence is betrayal. We will have to repent in this generation, not only for the evil words and deeds of the bad people, but for the appalling silence of the good people. And so, reading those words is kind of like, wow. So that is just food for thought and powerful words from 60 years ago that are so apropos today.
Thank you, Ms. Carter. All right, so let's move forward and let's talk about that 2025 CSBG dashboard. Ms. Carter, you want to do this one?
Okay, so as I stated earlier, CSBG is the Community Service Block Grant. Because of our designation as a community action agency, there are certain organizational standards that we must meet to be considered a solidly strong organization. 49 of the 58 standards were met, and those that we did not meet, we know why they weren't met. Basically, they all revolve around the strategic plan, which you all know we had pulled back from this consultant that we were using, and we were going to wait until the beginning of this year to put out an RFP for a new consultant to lead our strategic plan. So we did complete the needs assessment last year. We did do a new needs assessment on the communities we serve so that we would be moving with good data on these communities. The one thing that I really oftentimes when people are talking to me about nonprofit work and I talk to them about community action, I say the reason that we're a little different than most nonprofits is we really have to follow the data and what's happening in the community. We don't just keep doing programs because they're good to do. We do them because the community needs these programs. And so we look at that data. And so right now, that's where a lot of the unmet standard is around us not having that completed strategic plan. But we pulled back from that consultant because one thing we do with our strategic plan is use it to inform the work that we do. And we did not think that the consultant we were using was going to be able to lead us in that direction. So we will be putting that RFP out. It should be coming out early February, and hopefully we will be able to get started by March, late March, with that strategic plan. And it's all hands on deck when we start that strategic plan. Of course, we will have our board retreat to really get to the meat of the agency and what we're doing.
Thank you, Ms. Carter. Can I have a motion to approve the 2025 CSBG dashboard report? Is there a second? It's been a proper motion and second. Is there any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Ms. Carter, you want to take the 2025 VCAP performance measure?
As part of that, the VCAP Summit, which will be coming up in February 2nd through the 5th.
Yes. Yes. I think that this is last year's reflections, not the right?
Yeah, this is from the summit last year. They will be having their summit this year. And so this basically highlights their opportunities from last year's summit. And so this year's summit, again, February 2nd through the 5th in Richmond, it is an opportunity for board members as well as staff to go up to Richmond to learn about different things happening across the state and the nation that impact economic opportunity. They will go to visit the Capitol and speak with our representatives to tell them what's happening on the ground. And so if you are interested, just let Alicia know that you would like to attend the summit.
What are those dates again?
February 2nd through the 5th.
It is actually 2nd through the 4th.
4th, okay,
Yes.
got it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Carter. All right, let's move forward and let's talk about the Head Start policy updates. Ms. Carter, you want to take this one?
Non-federal chair, that will be Dr. Carmina Ada.
So as always, our Head Start grant runs from January 1st to December 31st. And during that time, we have a 20% match that we have to make each year of income for our program and expenses supplies. And so each year we have to send in a waiver if we did not meet that. And last year, our total amount that we needed to raise was $431,951. So we finalized that, and we were unable to meet that 20%, but we are much better than we were in years past. So we're excited about our future. So we just need approval on that amount so that we can get that information submitted. It is a part of the board packet tonight. If you have any questions on that.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Ada. Is there any questions before we put this to a vote?
So it's a two-piece, so before you vote, you probably want the second piece, right?
No, that in-kind is just totally, the non-federal share is different from the in-kind for 2026.
But I'm saying I have listed as one vote, so do you want to go over the other one?
Absolutely, sure, we can do that as well. So as we took a look at the in-kind policy or performance, standard performance that are offered by the Office of Head Start, we did not have a clear policy for Tri-County's in-kind. So we created a policy that is there as a part as well. You can see that information in there. We also did a feasibility study, reached out to some local agencies and other nonprofit organizations that were similar to ours to be able to come up with our new in-kind rates. And those in-kind rates are included in that packet as well. If you have any questions on that, feel free to ask us as well.
Mrs. Rice will be good with the vote now.
Correct.
All right.
I got a question.
Mhm.
So if I didn't see any, so some of the boards I'm on, like if we are given stock, is that probably not even kind of, never mind. I'm sorry. That wouldn't be just that would be a modification. Yeah, we have a question about like we have to automatically sell it or something like that. There's rules around that, but I guess that's not.
That's not in-kind, right?
Sorry. I was wrong.
Okay, all right. Is there a motion to receive the Head Start policy updates, including the non-federal share and the in-kind? Okay. It's been a motion. Do I have a second?
Thank you.
It's been properly motion and second. Is there any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, so we're down to Alice Community Happenings. I know Ms. Carter, she likes this one, so, but she always wants to go last on this one. So let's just start around the room and let's talk about in your different areas in your community, what is happening. So what do you have? Don't let Ms. Carter be here.
Okay, for me, there's a couple things. So there's an Empty Bowls fundraiser for Healthy Harvest in Factory Street on the 21st of February. And so that's, you get to come and you buy a ticket, you get this handmade pottery from Seagrove Pottery, and then you get to eat like different soups that are prepared by local business restaurants. And so that's part of that. you were talking about food earlier. I was talking to Dr. Huskin today because of the cold weather. She's actually, which is amazing, pulling together like 4,000 bags of food for every student in Halifax County. And so Feed Halifax donated 750 bags to go towards that to other businesses. So it just kind of shows the level of need that they're worried about kids not having food over the snow holiday. And so I think that says a lot about her and the schools like starting to care about that. Then I just wanted to highlight, Kim and Mary with Feed Halifax. They do so much for us, and like without you guys, it wouldn't flow with doing all the work they do and the checks and things like that. I think that's part of what this board is doing, but it's helping others. And I will say I've been getting to know Miss Carson. I mean, when I first met her, I was super intimidated, I'll be honest. But I'll tell you, over time, I have a lot of respect for her. So she's done a great job, and just the stuff she does reaching out, and Mary keeping in touch of the finances for us, for free is really amazing. And then I had one more comment. So we had a company at Feed Halifax reach out to us. They do strategic plans for like nonprofits for like they did it for Feed More, like the actual Feed More for Virginia. And they may be somebody when you get the RFP, I can send it to them and see if they none of it's cheap, but I mean kind of get what you pay for. But yeah, maybe send them maybe somebody you may want to reach out to because they specialize in that. So Feed More recommended them for us, or Feed Halifax, and they can help us. I don't have the company. I can't remember. They emailed me today, but I can. I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
And just maybe an option.
I'll go RFP. Yeah. I'll send it to the board because you all may use.
Others too, yeah.
What day is it?
21st February, 5 o'clock.
Any date on the masquerade?
No, so we have our we have a Women in Energy group, and so they are the ones. So it kind of been pushing this for a while because when I went to the grand opening of the Haley's place, it was I don't know. I walked in there, I was kind of like bathrooms make showers, so they can feel different, right? You come home, and so I was like, man, we really can do something better. And so I've been trying to push that one, and so they kind of explained to them. And Angela Yancey also works for Hitachi, so she's really tied to that shelter too. And so she's helping to push it. So they've taken that under their wing, and they're going to, they're going to do that. And I'll let you know when that's planned. But they're looking at places and stuff, and they're going to 100% of the proceeds will go towards that.
All right, thank you, Mr. Anybody else? Anybody else on my right side? Okay, going around the table. To anybody on the back? Okay, to my left, anybody?
I would say that February is Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month, and we're in the process of planning a lock-in on February the 27th at the World of Sports. So we're working on all the details now, but we do have different people coming in to speak about legal stuff around dating, healthy relationships, how to protect yourself from a sexual assault while dating, harmful behaviors in relationships, and just different things like that. So they'll get a chance to bowl and to do laser tag, not golf carts, bumper cars, and there's another activity that they can do, go-karts. And they'll be able to get food, but in between time, we will have like some rap sessions to talk to the teenagers about dating violence, and just to give them some information, tips, and tools that they can use moving forward. So it's almost finalized, but not 100%. But the date is February the 27th from 7 to 12. We're looking to have 100 teenagers. And we need 20, we want to have 20 to 25 chaperones. So far, I think we have 12. And so we're still working on the logistics. But if you're interested in helping us out, or you have some teenagers, or you work with a group of teenagers, we are working with the Mental Role Model Program so that they can bring in some of their, the youth, their mentees. But if you know of anybody, in that teenage group, I would say from 12 to 17, send them our way on February the 27th from 7 to 12. They won't have to pay to get in. We'll have sponsors that will pay for everything.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Carter. Anybody else? Bring it down to, and on down, anybody else?
With the tax stuff, is it possible I was thinking with the food pantry, maybe we can put it in the boxes for our next distribution. If we could, maybe Hitachi can pay to get them printed at Mickey Thomas. If you could, not the 8.5 by 11, that's too big, and just a little card, and send it to Benton Thomas. We'll pay for it, and we can give it out to the food pantries, and they can give it as a distribution because that's a huge benefit, right? I mean, and so I think that way we can get it out. So if you want.
Diane, you heard that?
Yes, I have, with the business cards that we have made up, would
Probably
they
a little bigger than
A little
that.
bigger than that. Just not that we tried the 8.5 by 11s. They're too big.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I would make sure
Yeah, postcards. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, postcards would be good.
If you just send it over to Benton Thomas, tell them what you want, they'll do the design for you. They have a lot of our logo. Thank you, Robin.
And if there's anything else you want to put on that card, put it on the back, right? Take advantage of it. So if you want to put that on the front, if you want something else like the thing that you're doing with the teen violence, or if there's anything about Tri-County Services, go ahead and put it on the back, and that way they get double information, right? Yeah, no problem.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, and could you make sure that the Higher Ed Center can get some, please, so I can put them in the student lounge?
Mm-hmm. Indeed. All right, coming around, anybody else? Okay, Ms. Carter's on.
I just want to, I don't know what's gonna come up, the Kiwanis Club contacted us. They wanna try to bring a Kiwanis Club International to Halifax. So they'll be coming down next week to speak about what they wanna do. Kiwanis International does a lot of, worldwide, through their clubs to help young children, and families. And so we'll see what that looks like. It won't be something that's run from Tri-County, but you'll hear more about what happened. And so this is not a community happening, but I did want to touch on that. Our roof is leaking at the main office. And so we did get a quote to repair it. And so we're now we're gonna get some more quotes on how much it costs for a new roof, because they wanted about $30,000 just to repair the roof, and I don't think that we should. 26,750 to repair, and that would be with a 2-year warranty. So we're looking at, we have another company coming down on Monday to give us another quote on doing a full roof replacement. So, yeah. Yeah, the agency may need some help raising the roof. We don't get grant money for that.
Ms. Carter, may I, so, was it a damage to the roof, or is it just wear and tear?
Wear and tear. Wear and tear.
Okay.
Yeah. And so we'll see what, we got.
Can't weatherize it with that hole in it.
No, unfortunately, we can't use grant funds on our but, yeah. So we'll find out more on that. And I think that's all I have.
Okay.
I just on this building. And so, the quote that we had, they said, so the part where the credit union is, for some reason, that's in worse condition than the rest. So it seems like they did some repairs on the other parts of the roof for that. And so that's really where a lot of the work has to be done. And so,
Will it be a shared expense?
yeah, we will share some of the expense, but we can't give it all to them.
Right.
Yeah, so, yeah, they will share it.
Okay. Anything else? Okay, all right.
I would like to say thank you to the board and to Tri-County for my award, and I really enjoyed tonight, and thanks again for thinking about me.
Oh, thank
certainly hope you enjoy your retirement. Now, don't be like Mr. Pennell, because you retire, and then you go back to work, and get another job. Let's not do that. All right. So do we have anything in closed session? No. Good enough. So if there's nothing else facing us, is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
All right. Is there a second? All right. Probably motion second. We are adjourned.